Welcome back to Etc. Podcast. I'm your host, Victor, and my co-host, Mark. Mark, how you doing on this beautiful sunshine of a Monday?
I'm doing great.
I love to hear that.
How are you doing?
Should we just listen to Mario Nintendo music for this entire episode?
Yeah,
we'll get copyrighted.
Yeah, if it doesn't get copyright, bro, Nintendo will be at our doorstep.
It's not like we make money. So. No, yo, this is unrelated. I have something else prepared, but there was this guy that I saw. He because like Nintendo's like on people's butt like about stuff like that.
Yeah.
This guy, he made, apparently there was this Donkey Kong game that was like very like low key, that like not as mainstream as like the ones you would usually see, that he played as a kid. And he's like, I loved it. And they had his own like manga at one point. So he took a page of the manga because he was like, it's like a sleeper game, but it's like my personal favorite. So he printed like a panel and put it on a t-shirt, and it's just for him. He's not selling it, was just for him. But he met at like one of the Nintendo Directs, he met like one of the heads of Nintendo. And then he was just like, what's that?
He's like, I'm the director. I know everything that goes in and off the shelves. I have never seen that.
Because look professional. He's like, yo, I promise. He's like, yo, I promise you, I'm not selling it. He told the story. He's like, he basically what I just told you. He repeated back to him. He's like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like he was just cool about it.
Burn.
Yeah, just balled up his shirt.
Grabs his shirt. Just
not even. He just.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Wear this one.
Just chips it down.
Well, yeah. You mentioning the whole copyright thing, it just made me think of that. But
yeah, that and Disney, bro. Because the very first time, like, I don't even remember when it was, but like when I played Kingdom Hearts and just realized that like you gotta be like, they even say it too. Like that's how crazy it is, because they even say it in the game itself, and they have like its own little section or panel or whatever where it just says like just like warning before streaming, because literally it's just a bunch of Disney music.
Yeah.
So it's like when you stream, it's like basically you can't even play that game or stream it. I'm like, that's so corny. Like a game like that, you're like, bro, I love this game. Can't even stream it because literally every 2 seconds I hear somebody singing a dang song.
Yeah,
bro.
you probably have to just mute the music and then add your own afterwards or something.
It's just like that's one thing where I'm just like, man, music and copyright is always like so annoying, because music is literally like in everything, and it's like you can't use anything anymore.
Well, it kind of like, it's weird. It kind of depends, because like with YouTube, it's also like you play games and the music, so it won't strike you, because some like if you play like a Mario game, it's not gonna strike you for it. Yeah. So like people use that kind of like video game music because it will pass through without getting notified. Yeah. But if it's something that's like also in real life, but like Final Fantasy or like Kingdom Hearts and shit, like there's songs where it's like it's released on platforms and stuff like that.
It was already like re-released.
Yeah.
Something like a TV show.
It's like weird how they roll with that. So
yeah, that makes sense though. Yeah, if it's on its own game, like it was made in that game specifically. But like Mario started off as a game, right?
Yeah. It used to be like, his name used to be like Jumpman or like Rocket Man or something like that. Yeah, but then but like even for our clips, like the Emissary Zero clips that we have, I use like, it's like not the main theme, but it's a song from Luigi's Mansion. Like that beat you hear in the background, it's like from the tutorial. Gotcha. But it doesn't get striked because it's a part of the game.
True.
So like, I mean, for now we haven't gotten caught, but like I do that on my own videos too. Sometimes where it's like, because it's like I can't use real tracks. And like finding some non-copyright sometimes is just like so generic or like kind of low-key kind of ass sometimes. But sometimes
but isn't it also like you're allowed to do like what, 30 seconds or like 20?
It's like 10 seconds before before it gets flagged. But then like beyond that you'll get flagged, but like it'll tell you like, oh, like hey, this got picked up, but it's not gonna affect your video. We just letting you know, like we know.
We watching you, bro.
We just want you to know we know.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, because I'll get that sometimes on my videos. Like even BioShock, there's like a jukebox in the game, and I like went up to it and played it, and then I didn't know that it was like real life music, but it told me, it was like, oh, like this is copyright. You're good, but like we peeped it, so I just kind of left it alone.
We ain't gonna do nothing right now. Just know.
Yeah, it's like you don't got ads on your shit, so we cool. But as soon as you start making some bread, we're gonna put a strike on your channel.
No, we got guys right across the street right now, ready to go.
So yeah, it's difficult. It's weird like that, which kind of sucks, because it's like, don't you want people to like advertise and play your game? But
yeah, it's like, it's the whole money thing. It's literally like all
just goes
down to that, because they're just like, oh, you're making money off of something we created.
Same thing, yeah.
Run it up.
And sometimes not even making money, because like there's been I play, like, I don't know if you've ever played or recently, or have you ever played like ROM hacks for games? Because like for me, like it's probably like if you know me, you know I love Pokemon, and like I love the older Pokemon games, but like I've played it thousands and thousands of times, just vanilla like Pokemon. But there's people who make mods or like ROM hacks of like new stories or like combining regions, and like it's completely free. Like they're not making money off it. They just do it for the love of the game. Same thing with like zombie maps.
Yeah.
So they'll do that, and there have been some recently or like really good ones out there where Nintendo sent like a cease and desist on them. It was like, yo, take this down, or like we're gonna take legal action. It's like, why? It's like, you don't remake these games. You don't remake like you do, but you don't release like you'll make it as like another like a remaster and charge people again for it. You don't release it like they're not releasing like Pokemon Emerald again,
updates and stuff. Yeah,
like there's no way to reach it, and if it is, it's aftermarket, which you don't touch either. And then the aftermarket ones are like hundreds of dollars, which I'm so glad I kept mine because I'm not paying $100-some for these cassettes. Some of them are fake as well. They just throw ROM hacks onto them and sell them, and like they reprint like they recently remake the cassette.
Wow.
So that just annoys me because they're not even making money off it, and they're still being like, yo, at least let them be great. Like they're just only furthering your brand. Or if you're gonna do that, at least bring them on. Like, yo, take this down, but like work with us. We'll like work with you to like make this a real thing.
Yeah.
Or if you like, you know, having like there's a point where like maybe if it doesn't make you money, it'll still help you in some type of way having like good practice in your stuff. Because why do people have to bend over backwards to make this stuff happen? Kind of similar to, I think of like Super Mario Maker, right? It was a great example of something that they did. It was great. It was like, you have these Mario games, you have all these resources. Why not make a game or a software where people can make their own levels and go like that? Why? Same boat is all right, cool. You don't want people pirating your shit. Okay, make it where people have a software studio where they can make stuff through you that they pay you to make it, or maybe just make it free because you've already made billions of dollars. Let them make their own games, own Pokemon, own whatever, and it's still through you guys. So you still kind of like see some part of it. Or with COD Zombie Maps, I don't know how COD hasn't just been like, yo, like here's this software where you can take all the assets from the games. Or if you want to be an asshole and charge people, oh, here's a Black Ops 2 pack.
Yeah.
And let people build their own maps.
Yeah. Because you know they're going to always try to find a way to be like, oh, like it's never just going to be a one base price. It's going to be always like, oh, how can we still try to get more out of it as it's going?
But still, if you're like, because if you're not going to do that, then don't be mad at us taking matters into our own hands.
Yeah, that's one.
So it's like, pick one.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, because I feel like it really benefits, like you were saying, it gives more publicity to your game. And yeah, you just get to see. I feel like also it's a way also for you as a company to also get better and different ideas. You know, if you constantly keep the same ideas flowing from the same 10 people that are constantly being the ones who are approving these games, or, you know, like throwing these ideas around, it's like it's only going to stay within those 10 people, and it's never going to change. It's always going to be the same, and it's always just going to have that same feel. And of course, you're going to need some change. We're not asking for it to be like exactly how it was. And I'm talking more about like a different game. If it is going to be something like an old game, like, yeah, make it literally as close as you can, but don't change it too much. But if you're trying to find new ideas, it's like, yeah, like they literally have people out there who are trying to do these things on their own. And you guys are kind of like being like, no, we want to come up with the idea. So you're fine.
Yeah. And it's like, you could even like hold contests or something, or if it's something good enough, you hit them up like, yo, that we really like this. We want to incorporate it. We want to give you, credit, money, whatever. Like there's ways to do it where you build a good relationship between the brand and like the consumer without making it this whole thing where you're like threatening to sue. Like that never makes you look good.
True. You're saying, that, and then also like as the person who's making it, now you're just like,
F you guys.
Like imagine, that, and also like imagine that's something that you personally do because like it's like, I wouldn't say so much your job, but it's just something you really love to do. Yeah. And now you're like, bro, like I can't even do what I love anymore because literally if I make any other game, I guess if it is, so we'll say Nintendo, if I try to make any other Nintendo game, they're really constantly now looking at the stuff I make.
Yeah. So then I should just either make my own shit or just like give it up altogether or not publish it out. Like I'll make it for my own use, but not get to share it with anyone.
Yeah. That's what sucks.
Yeah.
I would say I'll be more annoyed at that because I'm just like, fine, like I can take that down, but now if I ever want to make something else, this is always the first thought in my head as I'm making it. Like, am I actually gonna be able to share it, or am I just gonna have to take this down too?
Yeah, it's like And even you think like they've like Nintendo, I guess, and they found a way to like do this, but also make money off it because they have Switch Online, where they have like the Nintendo NES. Now it's going to be GameCube and a new Switch and N64. Like, but then even then the library is kind of limited. But that's another way where like they make money off it, but people get to play the older stuff on a new device without having to fork up $100 some for like that old disc that nobody has. Except for you gotta meet up with some dude in the middle of nowhere on Facebook Marketplace for it, like, or eBay. So
yeah,
there's ways around it, but there's better ways to go about it. But who are we? We're not the one. They'd rather keep that stuff in their back pocket and then add it to the new console so they can make some money off of it. And that's why we're not billionaires, because they know how to like milk people dry. We do it for the love of the game. We love games. They love money.
Yeah, they done.
There's a little mix of the two in there.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder, when was the last game they actually played?
A lot of them, very little.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, was it the last
like,
time?
Oh, I used to play Tecmo Bowl. It's like, we get it, bro. You're old. Like, like if you're gonna work in this, at least adapt to like newer games. Like,
at least play something that everybody else is playing. Did you play Wii Sports?
Yeah,
even that's fine.
Yeah,
like, that was some time ago, but even that was fine. Even that'd be fine.
I appreciate and love the people that like work in this stuff, whether even be out like music, film, TV, whatever. Where it's like, they also still partake in it. So there's like, they understand.
Yeah.
Whereas like there are people like, yo, like you'll access like even if they're like a game adaptation, there'll be sometimes where like, oh, did you play the games? Like, oh, I didn't know about it until like I got hired for the role, so I played it like for an hour or two. It's like, that sucks. But then there's the people like, yeah, like bro, I played every single one. Like I got the tag, I got the X1. I had it from when I was little. Like I knew everything from the rip. I was so excited to get added onto this. So like, there's an appreciation there.
Yeah.
Whereas you see like The Last of Us 2, the TV show, and there's like, oh, the guy who directed it, or not directed, but there's like a guy who's like created, like in charge of like a lot of the creative direction. He's like, yeah, like I didn't play video games. Like I didn't know much about the story. I just kind of like I directed it, but I didn't know anything about it. Like, that's so annoying.
Yeah,
like it's so terrible. And we talk about this all the time with like adaptations sucking because people don't pay attention to this stuff.
Yeah, people don't take the time to learn it, and then like it's not even like, sometimes I won't even want to blame them because sometimes they just get axed, you know.
Yeah,
and a lot of that time too is just like, if I
need a job.
If I was him and I was like, hey, there's this game that, you know, it's really popular. We want to try to adapt it to a TV show. We got big actors like Pedro Pascal and that, like, you know, do you want to do it? First glance, I'd be like, let me look into it a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean,
but at least take the time to do the source material. You know what I mean?
For sure. And no matter what, if you're doing something where it's an adaptation to something, you need to do your research, and don't just do the research as far as like, okay, yeah, like I know what the story is, but actually be like, oh, let me like play, even if you don't play the full thing, even though you should, it's like,
no, there's literally like, obviously, yes, if you want to play it a little bit, like, because some people are just, yo, like I just don't play video games, or like I've never have, or like I don't know how, or I'm too old or whatever. We now live in a time where people will play them for you and you can watch it online, and like, or people who do like literally documentary level like backstories of games, and they're like really good. Like really good video essays. Now, I haven't watched them in a minute. There's one channel, I forget their name, and I'll remember it, I'll add them. But there was one point where I was watching a lot of those at work, where it'd just be like, for series that I didn't know about, it would be like Metal Gear Solid, or like deep in depth, like stuff that like if you don't play every inch of the game, you wouldn't know. And that's so like that's like an hour or two that you can do that stuff. So like, there's no excuse.
Yeah, the one I'm thinking of. I remember, I don't think I ever watched the full thing, but I just saw it when I was looking it up, and it's a story background for like Destiny.
Yeah,
bro, that John's like 3 hours long.
Yeah,
bro.
But they do like they do it like they do such a good job of like layering it out and like narrating it, and like I don't know, man. I just think there's no reason for it.
When I see that, I'm just like, yeah, like, because again, like you said, some people just like either also don't have the time too. Yeah, it's like, that's completely understandable. And also, it's like, it's much easier for somebody to just kind of tell you it from somebody who like, again, it sucks because it's like, this person done all the work and you're just kind of being like getting a shortcut to it. But also that's why they did it, because they know that there's people out there who probably want to know about the story, but just can't have the time to it. And that's where I'm just like, dang, like, yeah, I'm like somewhat on that. Cause like I said, there's certain, like I was playing Destiny a lot, but then there's also some things where I'm just like, I don't understand how this got to this.
Yeah,
like, let me try to figure it out.
I just been shooting stuff. I haven't really like, maybe I missed a note or some type of like cutscene.
So then you just go and they're just like, oh yeah, this is this. And you're like, oh my gosh, okay. Like, and it just like, it sticks. But again, I guess it's just up to the person. You know, like you said, how passionate they are about that. And some people just are like, just here for the money.
Like even for me, even if it was something that like, I'm trying to think of something that like beyond video games, something that I don't do that like I wouldn't, if I was given a role or something like if it was like something like a story that I haven't read before, or like if it was like something for dance and it's like, yo, like I'm not like a trained dancer, I'm doing everything I can to like properly train for that role. If it was some crazy like book that like doesn't have a film or TV adaptation, I'm reading that joint front to back. I'm like,
or something like art related.
Yeah, like I'm gonna do the things that need to be done so I can do it justice, even if it's not a series that I care about. If I know that there's like prior like lore or stuff prior to that, like I'm gonna do the time to like do it correctly. Because like there's like even the Fallout series, like was it Elle Purnell or her name, something like that girl's name, that she's like, they have the series, the TV series, she's like, yeah, like I played like 4 like before I started, but like I didn't really, it's like I would just pass it off. Like even this Last of Us season 2, there's a girl named Isabella Merced. She was like the IRL Dora, but she was in Last of Us season 2. And she was like, I didn't play it. She's like, I played the game like after I got hired, and like in some points I just kind of passed off the game to somebody else so I could like, because I couldn't beat it. But she like, I watched the story.
She sucks.
Yeah, but some people genuinely don't play games like that. To me, that's such a foreign thing to me.
It is to me too.
Because I've seen 2 videos on this. I've seen 2 people make TikToks where, because I don't know if have you watched Last of Us season 2?
I haven't watched it yet.
Did you watch season 1?
Yeah, I finished 1. I was me and Em were waiting to. At first, when it was like coming out like weekly, we were like, oh, it's only like 1 episode, so we didn't want to just watch it because like the first season we actually like saw them like as week to week out. So it was kind of just like we were just like, oh, we didn't want to like just watch it and be like, dang, okay, now what do we watch? Yeah. Like, we were just kind of like stuck. So we were like, oh, let's wait a little bit. That turned into end up being now that it's completely finished. So we're like now thinking, we're like, oh, let's just watch it now.
I have no intention on watching it. I'm like, they've seen like from the commentary that I've seen around it, it's just like it's not. Have you played the second game or watched the second game?
No.
Okay, so maybe you won't care as much, but for me, somebody who's like went through the whole thing, it's very upsetting just from the casting and in general, everything overall. Where was I getting with this?
You were asking. Wait, no. You were asking me like, oh, have I seen it?
Yeah, but before that, there was a reason I asked that. It's all right. So Last of Us season 2, adaptations. People that didn't play the game.
Oh yeah, it's such a foreign thing you're saying.
Yes, video games, like people just generally don't play games.
You said there's 2
and I've seen, and there was 2 people that made videos on TikTok, speaking about the season, because there's people who never played the game. There's people who don't play video games. And these were one of those people where there was like, I don't understand the outrage because I've never played the game. But people complain about the video game as well. But my issue more so is the fact that they didn't stick to the material. Because in season 1, they stuck to the material to the T.
Bro, that's how it always
of what was there. And season 2, they just completely went off a beaten path. Mind you, the creators of the game have worked on both seasons, and somehow they just decided to not stick to that in season 2. But she came out, this one of the videos that I remember seeing, and she was discussing, she was like, my understanding of video games is that you play them and everybody has their own unique experience. Because she thinks that all games are multiplayer games, and she thinks that like it's an online match and then that's just the entire game.
She obviously is looking this through a lens
of like a 2K COD player boyfriend or brother.
That, and also just like I feel like the idea of like Fortnite, just like, you know, that
she's like
era,
everything's different for everybody. But she was like her 30s.
But that's 40s. What I'm saying though. Like Fortnite came out like 10 years ago now, and
close to.
Yeah, and I feel like at that point, that's when everybody was really starting. That's when the video game I feel like scene was really starting to come up as far as like getting recognition, as far as getting seen on like social media. People getting like sponsorship deal. It was just coming a thing where like you see on TV and you're like, the heck is this? But yeah, I just feel like that's around the time where things were coming out. But I would like somebody who's in their 30s or 40s, I'd assume like whether you were super into it as well, like you probably like played Mario or like. That's what you would think, bro.
Or like just something like, you know, somebody who's like, oh, like my brother used to play, I played it a little bit, like you understand it, something along those lines, but I guess not everybody does. So she was like, my understanding is everybody has their own experience. So why are people upset that this story is like its own thing? And how can it follow? Like, how can it be following a certain storyline if everybody has their own story? And everybody in the comments is like, yo, like that's not how that works. Like
it's a single player game.
Yeah, like
everybody experiences the same.
Like there are games where they are linear, and yes, you can like certain like small details you can probably go off.
Small things that don't involve a cutscene.
Yeah, like but. Overall, you'll still experience the same, you know, beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah. unless it has
like
choices.
Yeah,
like
but that's the difference.
Yeah.
But like in most traditional games, it's like
Yeah.
you have a beginning, middle, end. You have a protagonist, villain, conflict. And she's like, can somebody explain this to me? And I saw another person do the same video, and I was like, yo, like that. I didn't think people like you existed, at least under the age of like 40 or 50. Like if you're like gray, old, I'm like, I understand. Like you touched grass like 90% of your life, but
yeah, I was gonna say, but like, even then,
there are some exceptions to the rule. But I'm saying majority speaking, like if I see somebody who's like 60, 70 plus, I'm like, you played arcade games, maybe
you play Tetris,
yeah, like
and at that point there was no story, but some will probably say there is,
and that was too high tech for you, like you tapped out. So like I give that a pass. But people that I know, they're like maybe like I know that if I know that for a fact that there's like a lot of gamers in your age range, then it confuses me.
Yeah,
to at least not have some type of like aspect to it.
No, yeah, I completely agree. Like I guess I've seen and heard people say that, and I was just sitting there like nothing, like not even for like
even if it's like, oh, I don't play shooters or like anything scary, like there's something for everybody,
even like a little bit, like even for maybe like you're at a party, like it's just like it's crazy to think, like as like you said, that there's people who literally just never touched a game in their life. And I'm just like, how? And again, that's just a foreign thing to me. I'm just ignorant in that way because I play games so much. And I'm like, I'm surrounded by it. The thing was, it was my choice to be surrounded by it when I was younger. So that's why I love it so much. But even now, it's like, bro, I don't feel like you even have a choice to not be surrounded by it. Something about gaming is always around you now, 24/7. So it's like, bro, like you said, they feel like there has to be somebody in your circle who at least plays some type of game. And then they asked you.
Like, it's a medium of art. Like, I don't make films, but I've watched movies.
Yeah.
I don't make TV shows, but I've watched TV.
Yeah.
I don't read like 1,000 books a week, but I've read books before. I've been doing really good with reading this year.
Nice.
I've been doing once a month at least, like books, not chapters. But like, yeah, like I don't do it all the time, but I have experience with it. I know how they work. Same thing with video games. It's another piece of art. Music. You've listened to music before. You know how it works.
So the thing that's crazy too is that like I see video games too very much like movies. It's like you said, it has a beginning.
It has aspects of all the other art forms into one, and you can interact with it. It's probably the
idea of it is
the best form of it.
Yeah, the idea is like literally you can be in it yourself. You can immerse yourself in it, which you could say that same thing about movies depending on like how you set it up, surround sound, all of that, But you would never be able to actually play as the main person that you're seeing constantly on the screen in a movie. So it's just like, it's literally the exact same thing. Beginning, middle, end, protagonist, antagonist, conflict, when you're just waiting for the resolution. It's like, it's all the same thing, but it's just so much more immersed. And again, I'm saying this now and I'm just literally thinking, I'm like, who could hear this and be like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, like it's the best. It has the combination of all the mediums of art. It has this like painting or digital art, music, literature, like storytelling, like action, visual effects.
You know what's funny about this too? And it's not going to be exactly the same, but like I've been trying because I'm planning on building a PC so we can play stuff together. And she knows how much I like Dark Souls and Elden Ring. And I've tried to tell her, I'm like, yeah, like I'm gonna get you on this. But she knows too, like how hard the game is. She's like, yeah, you don't think I'm gonna like, be able to do this? And I'm just like, you can do it. Like I promise you, like you'll get good. Yeah, like, I'm like, I promise you'll get good because I'm just like, when I play the game myself, I'm just like, bro, I know how good this game is and the joy it brought me. I'm just trying to make you see
like
that.
I want you to experience that same.
Yeah, because I'm like, bro, you don't understand. Like there's just a different level when you're actually playing in that game. Because like, bro, a game like Elden Ring and stuff, I actually saw that they're planning to make it into an actual film. I'm really hoping it goes good. But
they're not gonna play the game, bro.
True. They're gonna be like, I don't understand. Why is everybody so upset? I mean, I'm not upset really as what I heard so far because they have a person who plays the main role. And in my head, I'm like, in any Souls game, you don't know who the main character is. I mean, unless you're playing Sekiro because you actually see the person's face. I've never played it. People told me to play it. I probably will.
Some other Souls type, yeah.
But yeah, same idea. But in anything like Dark Souls or even Elden Ring, you don't know who that person is. You create the person in the beginning and it's just covered and that's it. So I'm like, when I saw the person being cast as the main character,
literally be you're probably not gonna see their face. You probably just hear their voice.
But I was still just like, why tell me? You can just literally tell me it's just some random person. I don't know.
I guess they'll add that you see.
Yeah, but I mean, it also is the idea like you want to have credit too. If I'm playing in a movie like Elden Ring, something I also love, I'm like, I would be like, yo, like give me the credit. So I understand, but it was just like I hope they don't end up doing some corny behind thing where there's like you're seeing him just like constantly through. I don't know. I'm not going to get too much. But anyway, back to the main point of just like games like that. It's just like, bro, I don't get how you can say like, I don't know. Again, it's just me as a gamer, just like you don't understand why you should play games. I'm like, bro, games literally get you so just in depth in things and just like put you in a different world to actually do the stuff yourself. And it's funny because there's actually a married couple that I'm really cool with at church, and I think it was like one of my friends was having like this guys' night. I went over there and I brought my Switch, and I ended up letting them play Overcooked. And literally, the husband, he like was playing that, was so into it. He said that he hasn't played games in like years. So it's just like when I hear that again, I'm just like, how? Like even also like when you say you've played it and then you say, oh, I haven't like played it anymore. I'm just like, how? Like how can you like be away from it from that long? Even if it's like here and there, I'm like, how can you be away from it that long? But after playing that, he ended up just telling his wife, and then next thing you know, they ended up getting a Switch and now loving it and playing games. And I'm just like, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I was trying to do. Yeah, like, bro, it made me so happy, bro, because I was like, yo, like, I literally, in a way, I will never tell them like I did that, obviously, but it's just like I had some really direct impact into that. And I'm so happy because like people don't understand. Like it brings so much joy.
Just like lit that little fire.
Yeah, especially like when you're just like in the dump, you're just like, oh, I don't know what to do, but I'm inside. Like, what do? Oh, you have a crazy immersive game. You can play freaking Zelda. And you're just like, wow, like I had so much fun.
Yeah.
But that's my rant on video games. I should have stopped myself because I was like, dang, I'm getting too into this. But good, man. It's just one of those things. Yeah, when you're a person who plays video games, I told myself, I'm like, I'm going to be showing this to my kids and I hope they love it. And I will never be like, yo, you have to love it. But it's just like, it's a different part in life where you're just like just experience it. It's like so crazy. And it's so simple as far as like, you just plug it in and you just enjoy. Regardless, you're playing on easy, normal, hard. It's like, that's up to you, but at least you're getting something out of that, you know?
And there's some people that there's like a bad stigma for certain people where they just like never want to play. It's like, oh, I don't get it. It's like, oh, like my brother would be on it all the time and like I can't stand it. But it's like everybody that I know that have at least given it a shot, like love it. They're like, especially now with streaming, there's like so many like girl streamers where it's like, yo, like, I'm hooked. Like I'm on this. Like they legit like play games. Like,
oh yeah, true.
Or like even the good, like there's like the ones that like are 10 out of 10 stories, or it's like people will play like The Last of Us and they'll just be on it, or like just like the staple games, or even stuff just for them. Because you know there's some people that like they can't even comprehend the idea of like walking and looking with two different hands.
No, 100%.
And they're just like,
I completely agree. When I tell you there was a part in the game where we had to like basically it was like a shooting test, and me and Em were both playing it. And the idea was literally just to like, you had to, there was like test like dummies that came up, and it was basically like one of those
like a carnival thing.
Yeah. So you had to like shoot the heads to get the highest score in order to like get it completely done. And she was just like, she couldn't do it. And she was so annoyed. She was just like, I don't know what it is. I just can't do it. She's like, let's just go. I'm just like, I don't know why I can't do it. And I'm just like, no, we're going to stay here and you're going to figure this out, because I'm telling you, I'm like, it's not that difficult. You're just frustrated. And she literally just didn't understand the concept of just like staying still and looking. Yeah. She was like, no matter what, she wanted to do it at the same time. I'm like, you don't have to move that much. I literally was staying still, just moving my camera just left and right. And meanwhile, she's just like, and I'm just like, you're doing too much. I'm like, I'm telling you, relax, just move your camera. And eventually we ended up doing it. And she was just like, I'm good, right? And I was just like, yeah, this is what I was trying to do. So even like if there's like a party or a get together, I'm always just like, my first thought is like, either let me bring my Switch or even just like a board game. Cause I know like even board games, they make you enter into an idea of like, okay, this is just like
a game, and
it's a game,
it's slow like, enough where it's like you're just picking up cards.
Yeah,
like,
you're just doing stuff, but it makes you see like, okay, cool. Like I like being competitive. I like getting into something, because then you have the most simplest board games like Uno. You know, you're just placing a card down, but then you're like, oh, I have a reverse. Like, oh, cool, I can change something up, and it's like, okay, cool. That's just a simple game. But then you actually have those board games like Clue, where you're like, okay, I'm going through stuff. I'm trying to figure stuff out. I'm like, bro, you could do all of this and look at a screen and digitally. Like, it's just, you got to think about those things. So anytime or opportunity I like can do that, I always try to, because I'm like, bro, I know people are going to love it. They just got to take the time. And you always know the first thing people say who don't play a game, they're just like, no, man. I know I'm gonna be terrible, bro. I'm gonna be terrible. I'll suck, bro.
Don't matter. Like,
I'm like, bro, who's here critiquing you, bro? Like, bro, you don't got nobody here scouting you to be like taking you on to like the video game Olympics. Like, bro, we just all here trying to play.
They trying to make it, bro.
Yeah, I'm just like, bro, and that's the reason when I do that too. I'm like, I don't even want to play. I just want y'all to enjoy yourselves, because like I bet you you're gonna have fun, especially when everybody's on the same level. So I'm like,
it's like if I'm in this, I'm gonna ruin it for y'all.
yeah. So I'm like, have fun. I don't care, but yeah, I'm telling you, people out there who even watching this, pick up a game. Don't gotta be anything crazy too. I don't care. Just have some fun.
Especially if you're working on these damn adaptations, man, because there's a whole bunch of them coming out. There's like, I saw there's like numbers, like there's like 100+ live actions of games and series coming out. In like the future. One of the, I don't know if you saw this, but one of, like they have, there's been in talks for a while, but they had one for Legend of Zelda. And I don't know if you've seen like the
something
discussion
about
around
a live action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw something, and I saw that they just said that the girl got picked for Zelda, and that was the first time I saw that.
Well, they were thinking, it's not confirmed, but they were like, like she's being considered for it. Hunter Schafer was a actress from Euphoria and like a bunch of other stuff, and she's trans, so people were like making it a big deal, but like it's known that she's trans. But she's playing Zelda, and I don't think that there's a single human on this earth that looks closer to Zelda than she does.
I mean, you probably would find it, but then there'll be one of those things where it's like they're probably not an actor, and they're probably nothing wrong with it, but probably on like they're foreign on a different country or something like that.
And like if you think about the character Zelda, is known to be like Princess Zelda and then Sheik, and it does not get any like more on point than that. I mean, and tell me that if you think of like something like that in IRL, that would not look on point compared to somebody else, like. And then people were making a big outrage about it. And somebody was like, oh, like, why are you picking her? Why don't you pick Sydney Sweeney? It's like, can you calm your gooner thoughts down for one damn second? Can you not be in such a hornball? One, she can't act. Yeah. Like, not to the degree that, like, I think she does. I think that people are infatuated with her looks, which
how many other movies has she been in other than Madam Web? I mean,
a lot.
Oh, okay.
She does like, she's been doing a lot of like rom-com stuff. So like,
really?
Yeah.
I promise you, bro. That's the only movie I knew she was in. That was the only genre.
And she did Euphoria. And what's that guy's name? Oh, okay. That popular like guy who's like doing all these hard, like, what was that hurricane movie that came out?
Oh, you told me about him before. You had this whole little thing going on
for
a little bit.
So she did a rom-com with that guy.
Bro, she's like 1 year older than me. Isn't he like 40 something, like 50?
And she's doing like some boxer or wrestling biopic or something like that. She has roles.
Okay,
but
I stand correct.
I just don't think that maybe she plays Zelda, maybe, but like regardless, like in terms of looks and somebody that I know who has like I trust more in Hunter Schafer's acting skills than I do Sydney Sweeney's. Is what I'm trying to get at, and it's frustrating that people are making a big deal. Most likely because she is trans. Anything aside for that, they'd be cool with it, but. I think that that's somebody who's like made for the role, and it does not make sense that anybody else would be doing that.
Yeah. I think I have my own things of just not even about her. It's more just live actions in general.
Yeah, I mean, but we're beating a dead horse there.
I know. It's just like you do it and you're like, cool. You're gonna have like.
We just watched them ruin Lilo and Stitch. That's another story.
I heard it's done really good though.
It's not the same story though.
Oh, well,
Nani gave up Lilo to like the state.
Oh.
And she went, and then Nani went to college.
That's actually terrible.
Yeah, like, and when in the original, it's like Pumbaa. What's his name? It's not Pumbaa. That's Lion King. Jumba.
Is it Jumba?
Something like that. And Pleakley
Jumba
and Pleakley look after Lilo during the whole situation, and like that's what happens in the show and like all that stuff. And then they didn't even make the like space people, and the cop wasn't the usual cop. And they got rid of all these stuff. And they didn't even let Pleakley look like a woman. They just got rid of all the parts that make it Lilo and Stitch. So
I actually didn't even realize that was the thing.
So they switched up it's like, yo, the material was there. Why change? Why change if there already?
This is why I say, yeah, live actions are very annoying.
If people Just watched or kept to the source material.
Yeah, live actions are just dumb.
It wouldn't
in
matter.
my opinion. I think if you ever want to make a movie or anything from either,
it's just not about you. Stop making it about you. You were this guy who's directing something, and you're waiting for your big break, and you're like, yo, I'm not gonna just do the good job. I'm gonna add my twist on it because I'm an artiste and my opinion matters. So I'm gonna change up this thing that somebody already worked on.
I'm gonna ruin your childhood.
Yeah, like
I think it's more so what I'm thinking of is more so live actions for any video game. I think it shouldn't be a thing. I think personally, if you want to go that route, you got to do exactly what like Super Mario did. I think if you did something like that with something like Legend of Zelda, I'll be so 100%.
If it was animated, I would 100% prefer an animated Super Mario or Zelda film.
Because it's just
I would prefer a lot of animated stuff over live actions these days. But
yeah, because I just think one, I get it, and I never want to be like just do it because it takes a lot of time, and of course you got the animators and stuff like that. Like you want the stuff to actually look good and not feel rushed, and I feel like these companies do end up doing that for them, where they just make them like feel like they have to rush stuff. But yeah, I just think you have the world of possibilities when you have stuff animated rather than having somebody who's real and you're asking them, oh, do like 3 front flips and then shoot an arrow out of your hand. You're like, that's not happening. The most she's going to do is probably do some slide that's going to look super CGI or, you know, whatever. And she's going to shoot 1 arrow and that's it. And it's not even going to look cool. You're going to be like, oh, okay. But like, yeah, some stuff you see in the game, you're like, oh, yeah, they got that item. They definitely should be able to do this now. And then they do something that has nothing to do with that. You're like, all right, cool, I guess.
Peace. But yeah, there's very few where like, I feel like it's a good idea to do live action, and sometimes it works out well. Because like The Last of Us season 1, people still complain because people are gonna complain about everything. But I think in and of itself, even though some characters didn't look exactly like it, in some cases it's physically impossible. It's animated. Some people just don't look like that. Not everybody has like anime boobs and all this like crazy figures and all this stuff. Like
even that,
like it's just gonna be like people look human. But story wise, it did well. I think Fallout was doing really well, even though I'm not super into the series. Halo didn't. I don't think it performed well, but like it looked like the stage design.
I looked at it. I was like, this John looks like it's dope. And then I heard it and I was like, dang.
Yeah, but like it seems like they did it correctly in that regard.
And stuff like that. Yeah, it's like those things. I feel like can work well, especially because like I'm thinking more so for the Halo thing, but like you can get by not going super like crazy like CGI and crazy effects for Halo. Like you just need a couple things here and there, and just like as long as you're like with the soldiers going in the field, like that's enough. All you need is some smoke, some dust, some bullets, and you're like, all right, cool, like this is fire.
Yeah, they just stray way too far. You know what? We'll end with this one series that I'm surprised has not had rumors or like confirmed of a movie. GTA. The way that they make so much money. Like if they just made a film about like Vice City or something, like it'd be so like raunchy and over the top, but like it would do well. Just slapping Grand Theft Auto on it.
Slapping Grand Theft Auto, and to be completely honest, they literally would not have to follow any story. Like,
they could or like San Andreas. Like obviously you have like your general plot, but most of it would be filled with like funny random shit.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like it literally will not have to even follow the story. They can just say it's in San Andreas, so your thoughts would just be like, oh, cool. Like I know what's around. I know the characters that I might see, but the story can be just like on something regular, normal, like Bad Boys type of like. Yeah.
So I'd imagine it being on like some like more comedy leaning than like comedy action leaning than anything. Where it's just like a 21 Jump Street or like where it's just like a bunch of outrageous stuff, but like real action happening going on in it. But
they will do money.
There are like a lot of Rockstar games in general, like an LA Noire. Or like Red Dead.
Yeah, Red Dead will probably do actually really good. I mean,
or like the Mafia series.
That one I'm surprised because
it's made a lot of money. So you would think they would try to hop on it.
There's some shows and stuff like that that can be very similar that I've seen. It's like
it's already like a Western. So or like The Witcher is on Netflix. I think that's like done really, really well. So there's a bunch of stuff out there. But because it's video games, we've been going on for a very long time. We're gonna get up out of here. We appreciate you guys for watching. Play a video game. Find your genre. Whether if it's Sims, Terraria, Stardew Valley, Red Dead, Destiny, Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, hop on it, give it a shot, and you'll realize that it's a lot better than you think it is.
Play some single player games. I would say
if you're worried about getting your ass whooped,
that, but also a lot of people just get this diluted thought of just like video games are just all multiplayer, like that girl was saying. actually take the time to play some single player games so you can really understand why video games are good. If you play multiplayer games and you feel like I can't get anywhere because I'm just getting
Not
destroyed,
a competitive player yet.
you're going to complain and you're going to be like, this is why I don't play games. This is why I think these are dumb. Yeah, that's going to happen to you. So play singles. Like,
single player is how a lot of us got attached to it in the first place.
That's what's going to get you attached. And if you're somebody too who just feels like, okay, I like single player too, but I also don't want to get too competitive into like playing random people, get a Switch, get some party games.
Play with your homies.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. Fun. That's our parting words. We love you guys. We'll see you next week.